I think it's time for everyone to lay off Kate. She is an absolute jewel in the crown for the royal family, a terrific asset for Britain. She's undergone the most very serious operation imaginable. She needs a long time to recover. And I fear that she has been under terrible pressure to perform. And instead of protecting her, both her staff in Kensington Palace and even her husband, Prince William, have failed to give her the support and protection she needs. I think she is vulnerable. I think she made an honest mistake, and it's not a serious mistake at all. People have just jumped on it. It is completely harmless, but unfortunately, she's such a high profile person in Britain today, one of the few who is unblemished and perfect in so many ways. And she's been under a huge amount of pressure because she's been invisible. And it was announced that she would have to take time to recover. The problem really is that she is so important in the royal family, and with the king ill as well, and the queen not at absolutely perfect health either, everything so much does depend on Kate. And I do think in some way there's mischief afoot. People around the world just want to bring her down because it gives them pleasure. And unfortunately, the palace have played it very badly. They should not have persuaded her even to pose for the photograph. And then when she did, they should have got a professional photographer in to make sure there were no hiccups, like has now occurred. There's clearly no love lost between Meghan and Kate. Meghan has done her very, very best to poison that relationship by telling the most dreadful lies, both in Opera Winfrey and since then, about Kate. She's intensely jealous of her and wishes her no well at all. The problem is, I don't think any mischief has been directed by Meghan personally, but undoubtedly by her supporters, who see her as the saint and Kate as the villain. And that is one of the misfortunes of this dreadful Sussex escapade in California. They keep on getting publicity at the expense of our royal family, and quite deliberately too, as well. So I'm afraid Kate is vulnerable. I'm also afraid that it'll take a little bit of time to repair the damage caused, but I don't think it's unrepairable. I don't think trust has broken down between the public and the royal family because of this, but she'll recover. The problem really is she needs to recover her health, and that is far more important than this incident now. There's no doubt the royal family is in some sort of crisis at the moment because of the illnesses and the few numbers and the age as well of the leading members. The problem really is for Kate that she is not surrounded by wise people, whether men or women. The private secretaries, both in Kensington Palace and in Buckingham Palace, have proven themselves not to be able to say no or give advice which prevents mishaps happening. I mean, I thought that Prince William's um, contribution to the peace feelers in Gaza, calling for a ceasefire or cessation of fighting, was most inappropriate. He should never have got involved. But the problem is that William is a bit headstrong. He wants to change the royal family to fashion it in more his view rather than his father's opinion. And that is a recipe for danger and a recipe for mistakes. And this incident with the pictures is a classic mistake caused by Prince William, who should have said, I'm not going to take the photograph. I don't want you to get involved. And if we're going to do it, it has to be done with the full support of the palace staff and probably get a professional photographer in too. I think this is a storm in a teacup. By the weekend, it'll all be over. The best thing the royal family can now do, and Kate and William, is not release any more pictures and just go back to the important task of getting her fully recovered. There will be mischief makers who will seek to try and undermine Kate and William, but I think they're strong enough to be able to resist that. More important is for Charles, who clearly is weak at the moment, to understand that he's got to reform the bureaucracy of the palaces. We just can't go on making these sort of errors and making statements which are really not appropriate for a member of the royal family. I mean, you've just got to look back to the ridiculous sight of Andrew leading the congregation into St. George's Chapel 2 weeks ago. It was a terrible, terrible mistake. And if the staff of the palaces had been alert, they would never have allowed Andrew and Fergie to lead the congregation with the Queen right at the back. It was absolutely ludicrous. And is another symptom, another sign of the poor advice that the royal family is getting, the poor quality of their bureaucrats. Unfortunately, there are Republicans and mischief makers who want to do everything now to destroy the monarchy, to destroy Britain as it is today, who don't share our values and see Kate as a soft target, an easy target, and another target to seek to undermine British values and British tradition. That's where we're at the moment. It is really a part of the culture wars waged by the left and others to seek to undermine Britain. And Kate, unfortunately, has been placed in the firing line. The question is whether her officials know how to very, very swiftly take her out of the firing line and into safety.
When I first saw the picture, I thought it was a lovely Mother's Day picture. I wasn't looking to see if there was anything wrong with Catherine's arm or wasn't wearing a wedding ring. I just saw the faces smiling and Catherine looking so healthy and wearing her walking boots. So obviously, they've been out for a walk or about to go on a walk. And I thought William did a brilliant job. I mean, I thought it was a wonderful picture. I had to check. I said, "Who did this picture?" I said, "William." But, well, he's done a brilliant job there because it's got all of them, three children, all smiling at him, and probably only a parent could do that. And it was a lovely picture. And I just feel so sorry that the whole thing's been spoiled by what I called it in the paper over enthusiastic editing. But you know, it seems to be more serious than that now because every major news agency has killed the picture. And that's quite worrying because, you know, although I didn't think the problems were that great because I thought it was all about the faces, of course, you know, probably agency in the world is now looking very forensically at those pictures now and looking for the wrong reasons. You know, for me, it was a wonderful Mother's Day picture and Catherine looking so well, but it just seems to have backfired, I'm afraid. All I saw was the faces, and I just thought, what a beautiful picture, you know. And I would have been proud to take it. In fact, I might have said that. I was very proud to take that picture. If it was me, I'd be so pleased with that. I'd be so, wow, what a go. I've done a great job because to get three of them, especially Louis, who's got a mind of his own, that was just to me an amazing photograph. And this has become a big story now. I can tell you, it's a small thing, but it's come from a royal palace and probably never been done before, and so therefore, and probably hopefully never be done again. This was a surprise that William took the photograph. You know, I don't think he's very interested in that, but obviously he was being coached by his wife, and everything, all the camera settings was obviously done by his wife, and so I thought it was pretty impressed with that. But you know, if it was his first effort, let's hope his second effort is less complicated.